My next guest is a student. He's a law student at Newcastle University, and he's been in an extraordinary situation. I watched a video that's put out online at the weekend where on Saturday night, early hours, knock on the door from the COVID marshals who patrol the local area where a lot of student houses are. And that knock on the door was to say, we think you're having a party. They weren't having a party, just the people living in the house were living in the house, playing some music, not dancing, just simply playing, doing what they're allowed to do in their own home, required under the lockdown. However, COVID marshals called the police and required to have access to their home. They insisted on gaining entry to their home to come in and count the number of people in their home. Now, given that we're not living in 1930s Germany, I'm a little bit surprised by that. So I wanted to talk to the student myself. Luke Anderson joins us right now. Good morning to you, Luke.
Good morning, Julia.
Good morning. The video put out online, I found, I have to say, really very worrying. You stayed remarkably calm, seeming, to say, rather more sober than perhaps many of us are in the early hours of the morning. But you told me that this is basically the norm in your area. Lots of student houses in Newcastle, and it's the norm that you have COVID marshals patrolling the street, knocking on doors.
Yeah, basically, this isn't the first time this has happened. It seems to be almost every weekend now. On Friday night, I think we had about 6 police officers at our door. I've been living with my girlfriend because I know how bad they are. And the police officer, if they come to our door, I normally open the window, so I don't open the door because they take that as an invitation for them to come in. So I normally talk to them through the window, and I said to the police officer, I said, why are you here? Is there any reason why you're here? And he said, you can either open the door or we're going to get more people down here and we'll make a bigger issue of it. So eventually we're kind of, that to me seems as if we had to open the door. We didn't really have a choice at that stage. Though essentially force an entry, we didn't really know where it was going to end. So if we don't open the doors, there going to be half a Northumbria police down here. We didn't really know where it was going to end.
Yeah. So the police. This is the early hours of Saturday morning. The police come into the home that you're legally living in. There's no one in the home who isn't allowed. I mean, you're in a lockdown. There's no one in the home that's not legally allowed to be there.
Yeah. No, there's no one.
There's no wild party. There's no rave. There's no sound that would suggest there is. They've just decided to come gain entry.
Yeah, we're just sat having a few drinks. I mean, on a weekend, it's only the time when I can have some drinks now. This isn't the first time either. We've had them round at ours before. And last time, one of the police officers actually pushed my girlfriend, and we've made a complaint with the police, but so far there's been pretty much nothing that's happened.
Okay.
So this time I decided to send it into the Police and Crimes Commissioner, Kim McGuinness. So I'm just waiting for a response back off her. But from the last time when it happened, we've had pretty much no justice. But I think they know who the officers are, but nothing's really happened.
They darn well should know who the officers are. There should be a full record. But in this instance on Saturday night, see, I mean, are you playing loud, wild music? And there's, they're thinking, well, look, we think there is a rave going on, but you're just saying you're sitting there just having a drink with friends at home where you're allowed to be. Police insist on entry. Now, could they gain entry to see? Were they satisfied that they could see every room and they could see how many people were there? And did they apologise? What happened next?
No, well, essentially when they came, I think it was the coronavirus marshals who called them because they walk up and down flashing lights in everybody's windows. But eventually we essentially had to let one of the officers in. They said they had a right of entry under Section 17. I'm a law student, but I don't know every part of the law. So now upon looking on it, I know they didn't have rights under Section 17 to come in. So it was a complete bluff what they did. One of the officers came in, he checked every room. 2 of the rooms were locked because 2 of our housemates aren't here, so they couldn't get into them. An officer came down asking to open them. We told them we couldn't open because we don't have the keys. So he then kept asking me to open it for some reason, but we're told we couldn't open it. So I just said, you're more than welcome to kick the door in, mate, but there's nothing more we can do for you now. They didn't apologise. They were incredibly rude. And then they told us to go back inside and just go to bed. So we're now.
They told you. Sorry, you're a grown man. Yeah. They told you to go to bed.
Yeah, I'm 22. I'm now being told to go to bed by the police. So now there's a curfew within your own home, which you've got to abide by apparently.
And have you contacted the university authorities to object? Because the street you live in, there's a lot of student houses. This is the norm in your area every night, every weekend.
Yeah, well, we know of a lot of people who've had the exact same experience as us. It's common practice now for students, but the issue is with the university is everyone's too scared to tell them because as soon as, even if nothing's happened, the coronavirus marshals will put a report into the university. And then on Monday morning, you'll have an email off the university saying there was antisocial behaviour, saying there was a party happening at your house. So immediately they're jumping on the side of the police and the coronavirus marshals without knowing any of the story.
Yeah. I'm utterly flabbergasted by this, but I shouldn't be flabbergasted. I shouldn't be shocked by anything anymore. We live in a country where it would appear that it's completely the norm for a lot of people that they will have police knocking on their door to come and count who's in the house, search the house with no reasonable belief that a serious crime or any crime is taking place. And I've seen the video of you dealing with the police, and you are incredibly polite and respectful and calm, and offered like and get everyone standing at the window. You can see how many people are here. You've got the curtains open. They can see who's in the sitting room and the like. But then being told to go to bed by a police officer. I'm absolutely astounded. What do you think? What do you think should happen as a result of this? What do you think? I mean, local MPs. What do you think? Parliament. What do you think police chiefs should do as a result of hearing this story?
Well, personally, we just want to see some action. Obviously, I say last time we filed a complaint after one police officer actually assaulted my girlfriend, and so far it's been months now, and we've seen absolutely nothing happen. So all we want is some give and take here. Like that, it's just completely destroying relationships between students and between the police.
Yep.
I think students are completely losing respect for the police. They're breaching our human rights to have peaceful enjoyment in your own house. Everybody's scared inside their own home. I was talking to my mother the other day, and I was saying that I don't feel comfortable in my own home.
Yeah.
Like I feel like any second they could come in and kick the door in and tell us to leave, or tell us to go to bed.
Yeah, I mean, it's extraordinary. Well, I mean, go to bed now. I mean, if we're all allowed to tell students what to do. Luke Anderson, thank you very much for talking to us about that. I think you're very brave to speak out about it, and very right to speak out about it. And we'll keep on top of that and keep in touch with you and find out what happens.